Have you ever wondered how deep the rabbit hole goes when it comes to deceiving people on YouTube? YouTube, the world's largest video sharing platform, is teeming with content creators, each vying for their share of the viewer's attention. But within this vast digital ocean, there's a darker undercurrent, a realm of grifting that is as fascinating as it is unsettling. Enter Shiz Happens, a channel we chanced upon through masshole reports. Shiz Happens caught our attention by discussing a particularly unnerving case of a grifter, a grim tale of deception, theft, and even murder. This was our first introduction to the murky world of YouTube grifting, where truth and fiction blur and charlatans thrive. But who was this grifter that Shiz Happens was so consumed by? He went by the name of Fraudit Wrangler, a man accused of the unthinkable, the murder of a disabled veteran shot in the back of the head as he sat in his wheelchair. As if this wasn't chilling enough, Fraudit Wrangler was also implicated in 5 other court cases. Yet, he brazenly continued to hoodwink people with blatant lies about his military career, claiming he'd earned 2 Purple Hearts after 3 tours of duty, a claim easily debunked, as he'd never even completed basic training. The more we delved into Shiz Happens content, the more we found ourselves drawn into this bewildering world of grifting. It was like peeling back layers of an onion, each layer revealing a new facet of deception. From fabricated war stories to self-inflicted injuries masquerading as battle wounds, the audacity of these grifters was mind-boggling. And this was just the beginning. As we continued our journey, we would encounter more characters, each with their own unique brand of deception. From Irish Demon's questionable fundraising to Frauditor Troll's channel multiplication scheme, each tale was more beguiling than the last. Little did we know that this would lead us down a path of shocking discoveries. As we delved deeper into this rabbit hole, we found that YouTube, despite its many positives, had become a hotbed for grifters, exploiting the platform's reach and the trust of its users for their own nefarious gains. Imagine a story so twisted it involves a grifter who allegedly murdered a disabled vet. Welcome to the harrowing tale of the Fraudit Wrangler. Fraudit Wrangler was not just your average trickster. His story is one of stolen valor and alleged murder, a dark narrative that spirals into the depths of deceit. Arrested for the murder of a disabled veteran who was reportedly shot in the back of the head while in his wheelchair, Fraudit Wrangler was not just charged, he was pinned as the main culprit. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. Fraudit Wrangler was facing 5 additional charges in court, each one more shocking than the last. His deceit knew no bounds as he spun a web of lies, claiming military valor that was never his to claim. He boasted of being a decorated military man, having earned 2 Purple Hearts after 3 tours of duty. A compelling tale had it been true. But the truth was far from his grandiose claims. He had never even completed basic military training. Fraudit Wrangler was also known for his inconsistent tales. He once claimed he was shot in the arm during his non-existent tour. The reality? It said he shot himself to prevent his wife from leaving him. To unravel the truth behind Fraudit Wrangler's lies, one need only turn to YouTube channels like Shiz Happens or Stoned Vet, or even MSG Retired. These channels have done a commendable job of debunking his stolen valor claims and shedding light on his deceit. Veterans, real heroes who've made sacrifices for their country, have also stepped forward, pointing out the documents that prove Fraudit Wrangler's military career was nothing more than a fabrication. No tours, no Purple Hearts, but what he did have was a history of arrests for burglary and a pending case for the alleged murder of a veteran. A shocking revelation indeed, but there was more to the story. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of YouTube grifting in our next segment. And then there was Irish Demon, a seemingly entertaining content creator with questionable activities. The charm of his content was undeniable, and for a long time we found ourselves drawn to his videos. But the deeper we delved, the more we started to question. A string of funds going on in his chat piqued our curiosity. There was a crowdfund to get him to America for a fight that mysteriously seemed to evaporate into thin air. The opponent, a certain Delete Laws, seemed to lose his nerve, finding ways of not engaging in a UFC match. Then, Irish Demon threw a gauntlet at Turtle Boy, but instead of a fiery showdown, all we got was a cozy photo op, a visual feast of grinning faces and camaraderie. Where was the fight we were promised? The thrill we were expecting? It was all smoke and mirrors. Other funds sprouted like mushrooms after a rainstorm. Fund a lawyer, fund a laptop. But the one that really caught our attention was the raffle. Oh, the infamous raffle, It was, as Irish Demon put it, a raffle that is not a raffle. He was right, it was no raffle, it was a masterstroke of grifting. Entry was simple: PayPal, Cash App, comment on any of his videos. The potential pool of entrants was vast, possibly in the thousands. And then, in one night, Irish Demon added everyone into a raffle number puller, a move as audacious as it was questionable. The more we watched, the more we felt a growing sense of unease. The fun and excitement of his content was slowly being overshadowed by a creeping suspicion. The funds, the fights, the raffle, they all started to look less like innocent entertainment and more like a well-orchestrated grift. Our trust was starting to wane, but we were not prepared for what came next. Enter Fraudit Troll, a new face that seemed promising, until the grift started. At first, Fraudit Troll and his wife ran a channel that played already covered videos. It was a simple yet effective strategy, and we found it enjoyable. But then the plot thickened. They began a new kind of grift, starting multiple YouTube channels from their main one. They urged their subscribers to join these new channels, and as soon as a small number did, they would open yet another. It was a train of grift on a roll, and we were watching it unfold. But the story takes a darker turn when Fraudit Troll decided to feature Fraudit Wrangler on his channel. This decision would prove to be a powder keg, waiting to explode. As we had already discovered, Fraudit Wrangler was not the war hero he claimed to be, but a fraud who had spun a web of lies around his supposed military career. When real veterans started pointing out the inconsistencies in his story, it led to a major uproar. Fraudit Troll found himself in a precarious position. He had given a platform to a man who was lying about everything, and the fallout was intense. Documents were produced showing that Fraudit Wrangler had no military career, had never served any tours, and certainly didn't have 2 Purple Hearts. What he did have, however, were 5 arrests for burglary, and a case for murdering a veteran. The backlash against Fraudit Troll was swift and severe. He had unwittingly become part of Fraudit Wrangler's grift, and the trust of his audience was shattered. People began to question the authenticity of his other channels, and his credibility took a serious hit. And so we watched as another YouTube persona was unmasked, revealing the grifter beneath. It was becoming clear, YouTube was turning into a hotbed for grifters. As we peeled back the layers, we realized the extent of the grifting problem on YouTube. We've journeyed together through tales of deceit and manipulation, from the shocking case of Fraudit Wrangler to the dubious dealings of the Irish Demon, and the crafty cons of the Fraudit Troll. Each story, a stark reminder of the underbelly of the YouTube platform, a world far removed from its glossy, entertaining surface. Fraudit Wrangler, a man who spun intricate webs of lies claiming military glory, awards and tours that simply did not exist. His deceitful actions culminated in a horrifying act of violence, the murder of a disabled veteran. His tale serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths some will go to maintain their fabricated lives. Then there's the Irish Demon, a charismatic character who used his charm to solicit funds from unsuspecting viewers. From crowd funds for a supposed fight, to raffles that never seem to materialize, his actions remind us of the importance of questioning the validity of online claims. Finally, we have the Fraudit Troll, a master of diversion, creating numerous channels to distract and confuse his audience. His willingness to associate with known grifters like Fraudit Wrangler until the uproar became too great further highlights the manipulative nature of his operations. Each of these stories is a piece of a larger concerning puzzle. A picture of a platform that has become a fertile ground for grifters, fraudsters and manipulators. YouTube, a platform that has the power and the responsibility to clean up its space, seems to remain indifferent to these issues. The platform's silence and inaction send a clear message. Viewer vigilance is crucial. We must question what we see, fact-check the information we receive, and remain skeptical of seemingly generous offers. Remember, in this vast digital landscape, not everything is as it seems. This is why we make these videos, to shed light on the dark corners of YouTube and to remind everyone to stay vigilant. Remember, not everything is as it seems.